Hey everyone, Kevin here. I've got a big news update for you on the next round of stimulus. So remember this, the White House has always kind of been like, let's wait and see, right? We've had Kevin Hassad, Larry Kudlow, the economic advisors. They're kind of like, they're the ones that go on TV and they're like, well, we think the third quarter is going to be great and the fourth quarter is going to be excellent and next year is going to be booming. And we're just going to take a wait and see approach on the next rounds of stimulus. And, I've kind of made videos going, yeah, of course you're waiting and seeing because you can't do anything anyway right now. But it still sends a bad signal. It sends a bad message to Congress who's supposed to be working on this bill. Well, finally, yesterday we got an update from Treasury Secretary Mnuchin that he sees a high likelihood for a next bill. Then we got an update from Mitch McConnell that he also sees a high likelihood of a next bill. I broke that for you last night. Huge update. Well, today we have Mr. Conservative himself, Kevin Hassett, going, quote, on an interview with CNN, quote, pretty likely that he believes another stimulus package is coming and, quote, it's coming sooner rather than later. Good. Yes, this is the pressure we need on Congress. And then we have Donald Trump getting quoted as well. CNBC quoted Donald Trump saying, quote, I think we're going to be helping people out and, quote, getting some money for them. Then he goes on to say, quote, one more nice shot at stimulus. This is good. Good, because what do we need to actually get another stimulus bill through? We need Democrats on board. We need Republicans on board. We need the presidency on board. And we're finally getting everyone on board. Jerome Powell's pressure at the Fed is working and it's trickling through. This is huge news. Finally great. And then guess what happens when we look on over at the Senate? Well, when we look on over at the Senate and we see their calendar, we see that they're going to be gone until next Wednesday or next Thursday. And so is the House, so I'm not picking sides here, okay? Congress is gonna be gone until next Wednesday or Thursday when they have some committee meetings scheduled, which is really frustrating because yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend, but look, today is the 22nd, and that means there are really only 2 working days left this month for Congress to get work done on this stimulus package. And it ain't happening. Instead, all this week, guess what progress happened on the HEROES Act, which is in sort of on the table at the Senate? Well, we had some nominations and we had some new bills submitted. Like your favorite, that $4,000 credit for those educational credits, y'all love that bill. Oh my gosh, not. I think that's pretty obvious. But I mean, like some of the things being proposed in the Senate, it's like, what do you guys, they're focusing on, look at this one, a bill to prohibit the use of funds to purchase drones manufactured in China. Then we've got, extending the PPP timeframe. Okay, that's fair. Preventing stimulus rebates from getting garnished. Okay, that's fair. These are ideas floated in at the Senate. Then we've got sanctions on China. All right, more distraction. And then here's one, obviously this is going to go nowhere with Democrats, but it's submitted anyway. A bill to withhold funding authorized under the CARES Act from any state or municipality that provides economic stimulus payments through a program designed exclusively to assist illegal aliens. That is basically like they could have reworded that title and just said, yo, F you, California. Because California has its own stimulus program to give undocumented workers stimulus money. I think they're like $1,000 checks or something like that. I'm not gonna pick sides on that, okay? Even though I'm in California. Anyway, then we actually have the first pictures of Donald J. Trump wearing a mask. And guess what his face says? Right here is Donald Trump. And I'll tell you, if I had to say, that face right there says, I am so glad I signed up for life insurance. Link down below for life insurance. And of course, get those 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100. Okay, let's now get into some more drama that's going on. This is a pretty big one. So if you want some entertainment with your tea, make sure... Make sure to stick around here, but then also at the same time, sign up for life insurance. Use that link down below. Seriously, at least get a quote. Click on it, see how much the quote would be. They don't pay me anything for you to just get a quote. Seriously, it's only if you sign up. So it's free for you to get a quote. Don't feel bad looking at it. And then get your 2 free stocks with Webull. But the tea that we're going to talk about right now has to do with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was on the show The Breakfast Club and had a little snafu. Joe Biden, I watched the entire, 18-minute, 19-second talk here. Breakfast Club is a radio talk show. They've got a YouTube channel with 4.4 million subscribers. Folks, Joe Biden, I think, forgets that people can take things out of context. And I'm not taking sides on this whatsoever. All I'm doing is sitting here drinking coffee out of my level 99 fishing cup and a glass straw. You could see that either I'm crazy or I'm just weird. I don't know. Most of the time people are like, oh, Kevin, fake laugh. I just want to punch the guy in the face. Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just me. Okay, so let's get over to the Breakfast Club. Look at this here. This here is, this has created some drama. So we're 17 minutes, 19 seconds in, and Joe Biden has spent the entire time talking, and you have to know the setup. The setup is really important, because otherwise you're gonna have the same thing happen to you that's happening on Twitter. Basically, Joe Biden spends the entire time talking about how much the black community supports him because of the things that he's done for the black community in the past. He goes through his record. He talks about how every single time he runs for something, the NAACP supports him, which I think, if I can remember this, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I'm pretty 99% sure I got that right. And I think it's great. He talks up his record working for minorities, working for the black community. And I think that's wonderful. I'm not gonna fact check his entire record because I don't know that any of us care about that. But what we do care about right now is this clip that was taken out of context. And I'm not saying out of context because I support Biden or I don't support Biden. I'm just saying it was a clip taken without you having watched the first 17 minutes of him talking about how great the things are he's done for the black community. This last clip doesn't sound so good out of context, okay? Here's the clip. He's got to be careful and stuff like this.
Wait until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
Ooh, that's pretty bold, okay? He's saying, well, I think it was pretty clear if you heard it. If you have trouble figuring out whether you are for me, Biden, or for Trump, then you ain't black. So that has obviously created some shock waves. But you know what? If anything, if there's any good, and I want to hear your opinion on this. What do you think about that? Obviously out of context, I think it's a big mistake. And you know what? Even in context, he shouldn't have said that line. It doesn't look good. You've got a big movement right now calling Joe Biden a racist. Then you've got an equally big movement, maybe not as big, but you got a movement going, hey, look, I'm black and I'm with Joe Biden. I just think it was poorly placed out of context. I'm certainly not gonna define everything I think about Biden over that one line. But what I do want to bring up now is Joe Biden's suggestions for, some campaign things that he's running on, some new ideas that he has regarding a form of stimulus and tax credits. But first, I do want to bring this up. This is on Instagram, I ran a poll and I wrote, do you believe the next $1,200 stimulus check will happen? 48% of you said yes, and 52% of you said no. More than half of y'all don't see the next stimulus check happening. I've been thinking the next stimulus check was going to happen for about a month, and look, I can still be wrong. But based on everything that I report on every single day, I see that $1,200 check coming. I told you I thought there was going to be an asterisk on the $600 federal extension for the pandemic unemployment assistance program, and that's kind of exactly what Mitch McConnell said. Throughout the entire process, the predictions that I've kind of been making, they're not just me speculating, they're me reading between the lines of what people are saying, having a background in political science and in finance and as an investor. I do a lot of things, and so I'm gonna place my bet on the side that says that $1,200 check is coming. And I'm not trying to get your hopes up. I just do see that coming, especially with the new commentary today. So I think it's realistic. But again, don't, what do they say? Don't count your eggs until they hatch, right? Or listen to the gambler, right? There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. So let's wait to get dealt, but let's keep following these updates because all I guess you could take away from this is the trend is moving in the correct direction. There was a time when things were going in the wrong direction, which made it seem like, oh, this is not good for the next round of stimulus. Now things are moving in the right direction, especially with the Treasury Department issuing debit cards? Come on. That's like a huge waving flag going, hello, extra stimulus coming, and this is gonna make it a lot easier to prevent fraud and track your spending, even though we say we won't track your spending. Another reason to sign up for life insurance, although I have no idea how that relates. Anyway, moving on. Biden suggests that the Pell Grants should be doubled. Pell Grants give you $7,000 a year as a grant if you make less than $50,000. He suggests that those should be doubled because he says, quote, well, I guess his wife said this quote, but he agrees with it. Quote, any country that out-educates us will out-compete us. Okay, so an education focus here. He spends a lot of time, and I've watched multiple interviews on Biden today. That's why I'm so late with posting. Multiple interviews where he suggests, look, the only way Trump measures the economy is if the stock market is going up. We've had too many corporate bailouts. We need help for the little guy, the small guy, middle-class America. We need relief from Main Street, and we need oversight to see, to make sure that there's no fraud. And then he references the Columbia study that says, look, 36,000 lives could have been saved if we locked down a week earlier. It's tough, this is the problem with this talk is it's all hindsight, right? So it does somewhat put Biden in this position of kind of talking about the past when I think everybody right now is more interested in knowing what's going on in the future. And the only real glimpse he gives us on the future is that he wants to spend money on infrastructure, education, the Pell Grants, and he does suggest that taxes won't go up for $400,000 or for those of us making less than $400,000 a year, but does see an increase in capital gains taxes and corporate taxes, which is not good for all of those of you in my real estate investing course and my psychology of money course, where we talk about investing in stocks on a daily basis when the market is open. By the way, coupon code for that ends in less than 48 hours, so make sure you join in there. Then as a final sort of thing to top things off here, we've got Britain suggesting that all travelers arriving into the United Kingdom must self-quarantine for 14 days starting June 8th. Wow. Could you imagine going on a trip to see the Big Ben or to see Parliament? and you got to stay in a hotel for 14 days before you could go outside? Whew, international travel's something else, folks. Again, wow, drama. So, well, there you have the update for today. I hope you appreciated this sort of spread, like more content this time, right? A little bit longer, but I think we're still doing good. We're under 13 minutes here, so I hope you appreciate this. If you do, please let me know in the comments down below if you have suggestions for content. You could join my free Discord chat. You could chat with me for free in Discord. The link for that is down below, and I have a section where you could submit news articles, or you could ask questions in the general chat or the stock chat, which is the same platform where we do have private channels for course members, but I do encourage you to join and chat it up in the public channels. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. Sorry, sometimes I come across as a little kooky or crazy. I think I'm just weird. Maybe that's because I was born in Germany, and when I was in kindergarten, I would always say, hold on, teacher, hold on, I'm sinking. And they're like, no, Kevin, you're not sinking. You're thinking. Okay, I'm sinking. See y'all.